walk, y'all. You know I got my gum right. Sometimes that protein drink go down good, and sometimes I gotta keep chewing and swallowing to get it down. Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Get your chair, kicking your feet, get your weights. If you're pumping, line up if you're walking wall to wall. Jump on your bikes, get your treadmill. Yeah, and it's Friday. Friday. Yeah, y'all. Thanks for the support. Please like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell grandma, tell grandpa. All we gotta do is a little walking. But we doing 45 minutes because I don't want to. I'll work out with the trainer Johanna, but I don't want to walk on the weekends. So in gym world, when you don't want to do stuff like that, you just like tack it on to your walk. So I'm tacking it on. Um, Hold on, because I don't want to hold on to this gun. But let's get it going. Now, y'all know. Okay, I'm supposed to be able to start it here, right? Here we go. Tyrone. Tyrone, our treadmill repairman. Like the pool repairman. We got a treadmill repairman, and he had muscles. He was a strong. He was a strong treadmill repairman. I know he was giving me grandson, great grandson, great rising. Let's get this walk on, y'all. Now I'm talking because I'm not going through this. I'm gonna try this one more time on the YouTubes. We'll try to get this straight one more time, just the way I need it to be. And I'm not going to touch it anymore. Now, I tried music and everything, but music for me is more so for the bike. On YouTube, if you feel like, wow, are we on the scenes? It was all crooked. And the regular one was crooked too, but what can I do? It's Friday. I'm trying to tell myself, give me a break. So, y'all know, and we doing 45 minutes. I felt so good after doing that 45 minutes. I felt so really good. My fan ain't on. I didn't open my window, but I'll do it on our little break. It ain't that hard. So y'all know from me using the YouTube stuff that royalty free wasn't free and striking my videos and crap. So, I'm talking. From now until Emancipation Proclamation Eve, I will be talking on our walks. So, let me tell you. And remember, talking helps you get through the exercise. That's Paul. Remember in the earlier episodes when I was at Planet Fitness? Paul, he used to always come over. He said, when he see me, he said, come on, if we work out together and we talk, the workout goes by so much faster. And I said, yeah. And we would. But sometimes I would get there before Paul, and I would have done like a half-hour workout, And then he wants you to do another like 45 minutes with him, and I got other, ellipticals I want to do, like or treadmills, or if I want to jump on a bike, or if he's on a bike, then he wants you to stay on the bike with him, or if he's on the treadmill, he wants you to stay on the treadmill with him. It's a lot. Anyway, I love seeing my cherry blossom. This is what I wanted to tell y'all. When I sit on the porch at the corner, is a cherry blossom tree. And every year, I watch that cherry blossom tree blossom, and then it falls. Remember I told you when I first got this, that's why I picked that backdrop. And then I would feel like, I'm like, dang, all that beauty for such a short period of time, all that beauty, it would really get me. And then it happened again. And it bloomed and it was beautiful. And I was upstairs on the bike by the time everything fell off, I was upstairs on the bike and missing my cherry blossoms. But I got them now. So, though the cherry blossoms at the corner is gone, my cherry blossoms are not. My cherry blossoms are not as in gone. My cherry blossoms are here. How cool is that? Just the backdrop that I needed. Just the backdrop. Alright. Now, please like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell an uncle. See? Oh, no. I started looking at Netflix again when my daughter told me they raised the prices. Where I would have said, well, why Netflix? She went with the prices. I said, let me give this some Netflix. Let me give some Netflix time. And I remember this One of Us. It's an old Netflix video or show or dossier, a documentary. And I avoided it. I avoided it for years. Just looking at the small things that they used to do, when you click over to it, it gives you that short video, it gives you a short, and it would trigger me. So I said, oh, I'm not looking at that. No. Came to East New York, Brooklyn. We was in East New York. The Hasidic community was not too far away. We used to always meet up Sunday morning at, my mother and them used to call it, the Jewish market. It was on Belmont in East New York, Brooklyn. And they would have all the stalls out there, basically vegetable stalls and stuff. And we go there. My mother would give me a quarter, and I would buy 3 bananas. I knew my body needed potassium long before my brain registered it. And we did that every Sunday. And then there was the Martin Luther King riots, and they burned Pick and Apple in that Belmont area to the ground. So there was no more Jewish Sunday morning market. So what I'm trying to say, it was no big deal. We just went there, we bought. My mother and them used to talk about the women. Well, I was a kid. And we would play with the little Jewish kids because they would be at the market too. I mean, like, not play like high five, but like chase each other, little things like nothing big. And it was no thing. And then my mother worked for a New Jersey Jewish lawyer for years. And as she said, thank goodness, because my sister got hit by a car. And she didn't have to go far because my mother didn't have to go far because she was working for a Jewish lawyer. The thing my mother didn't like about that job, but after he helped her with the case and while the case was going on, she felt indebted, but she didn't like the fact that the mistress of the house, or the lawyer's wife, wanted her to get on her knees and scrub the baseboards and stuff like that. She didn't want the mop to like slap water around. She wanted you to get on your knees and get down there and scrub it and then dry it out good. And my mother hated that. But she had no choice. And she used to talk about the lady wearing wigs, but from now on what I know, I don't think they were Hasidic. I don't know. I've never seen the man. But I do know the years that I used to come in from school and see a big tongue, cow tongue, sitting on the table. I know that I love gefilte fish because my mother used to bring gefilte fish home for us. That grape juice that comes out during Passover, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Loved the Manischewitz wine because my mother didn't consider it to really be a wine, so you could sip some of it because it was Kool-Aid to her. So that also my favorite because we used to get, I can't remember what holiday it was. We used to get the chocolate bunnies with the jelly things inside. It's the jelly, I don't know, like a raspberry or something, and it's dipped in chocolate, and it's bunnies. And then we used to eat matzo crackers with butter. So I knew a lot just from my childhood, my mother, and school and stuff. So I didn't look at one of us. And also lived in East New York. Everything, all the doctors, stuff with after the Martin Luther King riots, and they burnt down Pickett Avenue, Belmont, like that. We had to start going to Crown Heights to get stuff, which is, I have to say, the Hasidic, you go into a whole Hasidic society. It's like in New York, but it's not in New York. The rules of the state of New York, it doesn't apply there. But we were able to go shopping there, like clothes shopping, different, like they burnt down Pickett Avenue. And so we were in the community. I also had an aunt who back in the 30s, she left Charleston, South Carolina and moved to Crown Heights before it became this big influx of Hasidics. So she's there with other African Americans who were able to buy their own brownstones and such. And she had a house there. My father used to take us there to see her. And again, we would pull in, and the streets would be nothing but Hasidics. And then my father would park, and we would walk through. Sometimes we would come down and sit on the stairs, and look. But, and I never understood. I was like, why would she buy a house here? But she was there before the Hasidics came. And so they all lived together. So I didn't want to see that one of us, because it was triggering. I knew it would be triggering. I didn't mind seeing that other Netflix went with the Hasidic woman. She went into the style. She did her business. She broke free. She made her money. But this one with this lady, this just average Hasidic mother of 7, sometimes they say for Hasidic women, they can have up to 20 babies before they're 40. 20 babies. You're talking about 21 and counting on TV. This is one woman has 20 kids, and the woman next door to her has 20 kids, and they're all in this apartment. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine just pushing out babies. No need to think, no need to learn, no need to do nothing, just open your legs. Open your legs, take my seed, open your leg, push my seed out. So I didn't want to look at it. But somehow, I think my daughter had looked, I already blame her, who else is in the house, me or her. I think she had kind of looked at it, but she was under my name. So when I came up, it had been looked at already. So when I went into one of us, I didn't realize what it was, because if I had seen the opening, I would have skipped it. But it was already 20 minutes in. So I said, oh, one of us, let me see what that is. And I was like, oh. And boy, it started triggering me. Triggering me, y'all. Triggering me. It don't matter what cult it is. It's still a cult. It took me right back to that Baptist cult. I remember, we used to have to wear, we didn't have regular bras. What is that name? Playtex bras. We had. The ones that fit you tight and was like a vest. It came down like this. You cut them. Then she had the long girdles. Long like that above your knees, and it came all the way up. And that was in place. And nothing could move. Nothing can move. My girlfriend Pat that I started speaking to again, we are going to do Bed-Stuy porch stories. Bed-Stuy brownstone stories. But Pat said, Vicki, I always used to notice how you walk and you don't move your hip. And I remember my girlfriend Donna. How did he say so? She was trying to teach me how to walk and swing my hips. And Pat did too, and I couldn't do it. We couldn't swing no hips because if you even perceive to swing your hips, the first thing you will hear is, I know that girl ain't, or I know that girl ain't shaking her ass in my face. You could be all the way on the other side of the room. If your ass jiggled in the Baptist world, if your ass jiggled, you were shaking it in, say, my grandmother's face. Now, say if my grandmother was observing me and my cousin or man was there, and she perceived me under all that playtex strapped down to be shaking my ass, she said, you're shaking your ass in your cousin's face or in that man's face, and it would be so perplexing. It's like, I'm not shaking no ass. How can I shake ass? I'm in the girl that's about ready to cut off my circulation. I like these pants. Oh, we gotta drink some water, y'all. I'll finish the story. Ooh. As Tyrone say, that's good. Stop on the dime. Please like, comment, share. Tell a friend, tell an auntie, cousin, uncle, etc., etc., etc. Okay, let's do this. It's Friday, y'all. But I found out that that's the setup for the whole incestuous pedophile thing. It's like, and it's never rape, because somewhere along the way, that Playtex full-size girl and that Playtex full-size snap, it had to have at least 10 snaps in the back. Made you jiggle and enticed the man. So whatever happened to you was your fault. That is the Baptist cult. So, that's why I didn't want to look at One of Us. Because I know it's one of them secrets. It's a cult secret. It's not just a Hasidic secret, not just a Catholic secret, not just a Jewish secret. It's a Christian secret too. They prepare you for incest and pedophilia. And they're also prepared to blame you and defend themselves. That's why the Lord finally came in and said, no, she ain't had to do nothing to get him to rape her. He's just a freaking rapist. But not in the Baptist religion and not in cults. Not in cults. In the cult world, it's always something that the woman has done. Yes, indeed. So, I didn't want to look at One of Us because when I first left Knoxville College, I didn't want to go back because I couldn't get a job there, so I couldn't stay in college. I had broke the family oath of, and the Baptist oath of trying to, going out to college by myself. The Baptist world, I was supposed to stay there, find an abusive man to beat me up, drag me, kick me around, let me have babies, so I can be long-suffering. That's what I've gotten from the Baptist cult. You can be long-suffering. And having a husband that is basically allowed to beat the crap out you, and then you have his babies, then you fit the bill of long-suffering. So there you are. I didn't want to be long-suffering. I didn't want to be suffering. So, I came to and I'm going around trying to find these jobs. So, it's just a lot of telemarketing jobs that I took. But then there was one sales job, almost like the Stanley Brush people. So, I remember the building. So, 42nd Street, 5th Avenue. I know it was really high because after the 7th floor in the elevator, I started feeling queasy. So I remember feeling queasy. So I go in there, and it's this gentleman. He's a Hasidic, but he had red hair. Red. Red, top hair under his hat. Red, we call them Shirley Temple curls. And a red beard, red mustache. It was all red, and came in and I sat down and I spoke to him, and he was like, you have a nice smile. We talked, we laughed. He said, that's what you need as a salesperson, but I had already been doing telemarketing, so go ahead. And he said, can I show you where the supplies are, so you can see exactly what you're going to be selling. And I know you're supposed to know your product and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. So he says, it's in the storage closet out in the hall. It's okay. So I go in there. He opens the door for me, and he does the ladies first. So he flips the switch on the wall, he opens the door, and I stand there at the door because it's just a little closet with stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. And he body bumps me into the closet and closes the door. So I said, holy shit. Trust me, honey, incest survivor, rape survivor, all them survivors, I knew I was in trouble. So I said, okay, all right, what are we going to do? So he says, and he's touching my shoulder. I'm like, oh, boy, did I fuck up. Never again did I do that. A man goes in front of me and I go behind him. I'm not going to bump in the front. And my daughter says now she goes behind me. So he's touching my shoulder. I think you'll do good here. You'll make good sales. And in my head I'm like, oh God, this is it. What am I going to do? Nobody's going to leave me. I'm a black girl. What are you doing, Vicki? And he's rubbing my arms because I want to hire you. He says the hours will be, the official hours will be 9 to 5. But he says as he's rubbing up down my arm, you'll come in at 8 o'clock to be with me. So now I'm repulsed. I'm pissed. To keep this job, I have to come and fucking for an hour before I start work. And it's sales. Ain't no telling if I'm going to come out with no money anyway. So, survival instincts kicks in. You just need to get out of this closet. That's what you need before they find you floating somewhere. So, instantly, I said, that sounds good. I don't mind. I can get here about 7:30. He said, no, 7:30 is too early. I'm not even here then. I said, okay. 8 o'clock. And he's rubbing me. And he's touching me. And I'm like, I just want to get out alive, honey. I just want to live. And finally he says, I had to kiss him to get out the closet. I gave him a kiss. And he said, good. We'll have a good time. Can you start tomorrow? And I said, sure can. Yes, I can start tomorrow. And he opened that closet door. And when my ass cleared that threshold, I ran to that elevator. No. To the exit sign. And tore down them goddamn steps. And did not stop until I was standing on 42nd Street, 5th Avenue. I was devastated. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I couldn't. I remember how he smells. I remember the taste of his nasty old spit in my mouth. I couldn't believe it. So if I went for a job, and people say, oh, you're racist against Jewish people, you're racist against, I say, no. I was literally molested in the closet by a Hasidic gentleman that I went for a job interview. And if I didn't play my cards right, and the fact that he thinks women is whores anyway, whew. So that's why I didn't want to look at One of Us. Because it would trigger that memory. Because even seeing that little caption, it triggered that memory. Even that other show with the Jewish lady in the fashion, it triggered that memory for me. It was something. And he was natural at it, like it's something he did. I mean, he just knew. And I was standing at the door. He opened it, and he hit the switch, and he said, these are the surprise that, you'll be using. I'm standing at the door. I'm like, oh, and that big belly, he bumped me right into the closet and closed the door. So it had to be one of those open out doors. And I'm like, oh, and then he bumped me, and then he closed it. So I was a wreck. I was a wreck, honey. I was. So anyway, that's why I didn't want to look at that. But I wound up looking at it anyway. So I'm sitting there being triggered by that. And she's talking about secrets. And all the secrets. And cults are like that. Cults are full of secrets that you can't tell nobody. It's full of secrets. All the cults, incest, rape, and it's in the whole doctrine. So I was like, dang. I really didn't want to look at that. I really did not want to look at that, but I wound up looking at it. And I just, I didn't know. In one of my posts, I wrote about, I can't remember it exactly, but I wrote about me as a child, learning things. Like, I was quite out of whack as a little girl, thinking that there was an entity that could come and rape me and make me have a baby. And that they could do it. It doesn't matter if I was standing next to my mother, if I was standing next to my sisters, grandparents. This entity could come and do it because that's what was told to me as a child. I didn't teach that to my daughter because I know that's not true. Scientifically, I know that's not true. And when that season came about, I told her, go along and get along. That's cult talk. Go along with the cult. Though you don't agree with it, you know it's all rubbish, but just go along with it. And I'm sorry I even did that to her, but I came from cult. A lot of it I didn't introduce to her, but I said we're in a cult society. And when you go around cult members, you got to know what to say. You got to know to say, thank you, Jesus, for everything. 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 If not, they'll say you full of the devil. They'll say you're going to hell. They'll say you bring it back. So just go ahead and do it. Go ahead. And at times, you're going to be looked at as Mary Magdalene, which I learned from going to church. She was a whore, a prostitute, who hung out with Jesus. And I used to wonder, and I, as a stupid little girl, am I a prostitute? Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. They said, don't be stupid. But you say I'm supposed to get close to Christ, but the only people get close to Christ is, woman is a prostitute and his mother. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Okay. Just asking. But in the cult, you're just supposed to believe the story. But it affects you. The guilt and all that stuff, you have to work your way through it. So that's why I didn't want to look at that one of us. I am one of you. It's called a cult. It's called the FDLS cult. If the Hasidic people met the FDLS people, they find out they don't have that much difference. The commonality you have is that women are just to be fucked and make babies. And that's why they don't want no abortions. I watched that woman, and one of us, she had 7 kids. 7 kids. She was 32. She had 7 kids. Where the hell are you going to go with 7 kids? She did it. But basically, the premise is, my aunt had 8 kids. Her husband beat her for years, because as the kids keep going, where's she going to go? Where's she going to go? Who going to take in? Who going to help her put food in the mouth of 8 kids? Who's going to do that? So the woman is stuck. And the man beats her up and rapes her, and then the babies keep coming. My grandmother had 13 children. Not all of them lived. Hell, I think only 4 of them lived. I can't imagine that. I can't. So that's why I didn't want to look at it. I mean, that was my disappointment. When I graduated, I got the hell out of South Carolina. I was just supposed to go to church, find me a man, a good Christian man, who I can take care of, and he can do whatever he wants to do to me sexually and make the babies. And then I was a good, long-suffering Christian woman. A good, long-suffering Christian woman. I remember my brother-in-law used to regularly bring home venereal diseases to my sister. And she was a good, long-suffering, not real long, maybe like 6 years, 7 years, suffering woman. My other sister's husband, first husband, put a bullet in the chamber and spun it, and had her and my nephew running all around the house every time he clicked the gun until she jumped out the window. And then I was told to go over there and gather her up. And they were good Christian women. They take a punch just as good as any other Christian woman. But I don't know. Some of them FDLS women and them Hasidics, they be taking a good punch too. So, let's do some finger exercises. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be long-suffering. So, that whole thing triggered me. I was like, oh, all those years I managed not to watch that on Netflix. All those years I managed, and I just got caught into it yesterday. But I know from cults, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, anywhere where the key to your teaching is women are evil and should be raped and abused is a cult. Anything that teaches you that the mother that pushed you out and whose teat you had to suck on to survive, she's not the evil woman. And she's not the killer of humanity. She is the nurser. She nourishes. I'm using the right word. She helps grows. Is that a good word? Civilization. Tuck in your elbow. Let's knock out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, don't get me wrong. I have I have good friends that I talk to. But I ain't no fool. I ain't never taken care of no man ever again, especially at this age. I told y'all in Bed-Stuy Brownstone Porch Stories that I am looking for me a man, a transgender woman my age or older. I want to go shopping. I want to do nails. I want us to get our hair done. I want us to go get petties together. I want us to go shopping. I think of Martin every time I say that. I want to buy makeup together. I want him up and make her up. And I want her my transgender mate. Oh, oh, oh. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 for good luck. Oh my goodness. By the time I start the tape, the walk will be over. I gotta sing it. I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yes. 45 minutes, y'all. I feel so good after this walk. I love the 45 minutes. And next week, we're doing an hour. We got a lot of time we got to make up. A lot of time. Have a great weekend. Tell auntie, uncle, cousin, and friend, please subscribe. See you Monday. No gesture pace this weekend. Love you.